The beautiful Earth, embracing a great many of lives. The Earth is the place of all organisms and non-organisms. However, abnormal climate phenomena occur frequently in just a few decades, such as sudden heat wave, flood, drought, and wind gust, etc., all over the world. The Haiyan occurred in 2013 in Philippines and recorded as one of the most powerful typhoon in history, destroyed over 70% of Leyte Island and caused the deaths of over 7,000 people. The Patricia landed in Mexico in 2015, which was recorded as the most powerful hurricane, devastated almost the entire country. In addition, more than thousands dead of heat wave in India. Flood caused the damage to people and properties in Texas State, USA. The meteorological disasters hit all over the globe and are increasingly powerful and faster as time goes. These disasters result from the influence of climate change caused by global warming. The Earth has been warming faster than ever before in the last 100 years. According to IPCC Fifth Assessment Report, the Earth's temperature has risen by 0.85 degrees Celsius from 1990 to 2012. Climate change is defined as a change in the average weather pattern over a long period of time in a given region. The recent extreme meteorological phenomena, such as heat wave, drought, flood, and super typhoon, etc., are just some parts of climate change. Climate change is due to human-induced global warming caused by strong greenhouse effect from the increase in greenhouse gases in the atmosphere, having been emitted in the process of industrialization. The advanced human civilization and population increase by industrialization induces mass production and consumption and causes resource depletion and excess energy consumption. The global effort responding to climate change began in earnest with the signing of the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change in 1992. Following UNFCCC, many countries have joined together in efforts to reduce greenhouse gas emissions, including the Kyoto Protocol and other countries' Voluntary Intended Nationally Determined Contributions, INDCs, and negotiations for the new climate regime. Jeju, the world's most beautiful island, being blessed by heaven with Triple Crown from UNESCO. The effects of climate change are slowly changing the natural environment of Jeju before we recognize. Cherry blossom blooming comes earlier in Jeju, where average annual temperatures rise and precipitation increases every year. There is an abnormal change of the season that winter is reduced by 1 month and summer is lengthened by 1 month. In Mount Halasan, where the distribution of vertical vegetation is distinctive, there is a transition process in which polar plants are driven to the top. Respectively, the distribution area of the forest of Abies koreana E.H. Wilson is decreasing. Jeju specialties, tangerine and harabong, once called as a university tree, are now being replaced by Naju harabong, Koje harabong, and Kohung harabong. Change in marine is distinctive in Jeju, being surrounded by the sea. The sea surface of Jeju has increased by 22.7 centimeters over the past 40 years, and the time of walking trail being waterlogged in Yongmori Coast is increasing. In addition, damselfish and Eurotithys chinensis, which were caught on the coast of Jeju Island, are rapidly heading north from Jeju to Ulleungdo due to the rise of seawater temperature. The fish species, such as Tromoctopus violaceus brachialis, which can be observed in the subtropical ocean, appear frequently on the coast of Jeju. Extreme weather conditions are increasing in Jeju. Typhoon Nari left huge damages and disasters on Jeju in 2007. The heat wave and tropical night continued for 23 days and 51 days, respectively, in summer 2013. The worst drought occurred due to the 21% of rainfall and the lowest precipitation days compared to normal year. In May 2015, more than 1,400 millimeters of heavy rain has been poured on Mount Halasan over 2 days. Jeju is a region where the impacts of climate change are fast and distinctive. This is why the importance of climate change is being emphasized in Jeju. In accordance with this, Jeju is establishing various infrastructures as responses to climate change. Specialized research institutes affiliated to the Korea Meteorological Administration are established in Jeju. They are the National Institute of Meteorological Sciences, which develops and conducts a wide range of forecasting techniques for meteorological fields. National Typhoon Center, analyzing typhoon in real time and predicting typhoon course and strength. And Gosan Global Atmosphere Watch Center, detecting the abnormal symptoms of climate by monitoring greenhouse gas trend. In addition, Jeju is committed to researching and responding to climate change by operating Research Institute of Climate Change and Agriculture, responsible for the future of Jeju agriculture. Warm Temperate and Subtropical Forest Research Center, conducting research on the change in forests. Jeju National Institute of Fisheries Science, conducting research on changing the issues related to fishery resources. Jeju Global Research Center, conducting research on new and renewable energy. Response to and efforts on climate change are urgently needed in our daily lives. If we save energy and resources with simple actions and practices every day, we can reduce 1 ton of greenhouse gas per person. In order to the emission of carbon dioxide, what we have to do before anything else are the use of public transportation as much as possible. The practice of taking private car together, such as car sharing and carpool, and the use of bike and walking to nearby places. In addition, it is advised to reduce the duration of using air conditioner and boiler by 1 hour. And it is better to wear underwear to increase the wind chill temperature. The standby power is cut off by unplugging the electronic appliances, which do not use electricity. And it is better to use GreenTouch, a computer power-saving program. Using energy-efficient appliances can naturally reduce greenhouse gas emissions before we know it. Change paper bills to email. Reduce the use of disposables, such as paper cups and plastic bags, and recycle habits. If we continue to practice like this in everyday life, the Earth will become increasingly healthy blue color. Climate change is an environmental problem at a global level, as well as a practice in everyday life, and requires a systematic education and management. In this context, Ministry of Environment designated Jeju Island as a model province responding to climate change. Jeju, Special Self-Governing Province, and Ministry of Environment established jointly Asia Climate Change Education Center in 2009 for responding effectively to climate change at a global level. Asian Climate Change Education Center operates 3 educational courses: International Professional, Domestic Professional, and Domestic General course, with a special reference to the issues related to climate change and environment in general. The professional courses run for the domestic and overseas environment-related government officials, and those working at industrial or civil organization who need professional knowledge of climate change. The general course is for leading citizens to the practice of environmentally friendly behavior in everyday life. Through these educational courses, Asia Climate Change Education Center contributes to the practice and behavior of green living related to the issues on climate change and environment in general. Asia Climate Change Education Center aims to be a world-class climate change educational center recognized by the United Nations and to create a global education system. In response to climate change due to global warming, how to adapt to changing and changed climate is as much important as to reduce the emission of greenhouse gas. In response to climate change, the adaptation to climate change, which protects vulnerable populations and achieves social consensus before adverse impacts of climate change appear, is an essential but not an option. The IPCC Fifth Assessment Report warns that climate change, for the case of being combined with poverty and economic shocks, can cause wars and massive refugees, which can lead to the crisis of humanitarianism. The Earth's life that can no longer be neglected. It is time for all of us to find the answer, taking the lead in preserving the Earth's environment. Our future can also be happy on that day when only one Earth shows a green smile.